The Wheel of Fortune is one of the best ways to guarantee a commander every 2 weeks. But how much should you spend when that special commander comes around that you just can't pass up? In this episode, we'll go over the general rewards, the guaranteed rewards, and what you should expect when spinning. But without further ado, let's get started. First, we'll look at the general rewards. You get guaranteed general legendary heads at 25 and 70 spins, and commander specific heads at 10, 45, and 100 spins over the course of the event. The first 6 spins over 3 days will only cost you 1200 gems, since the daily first spin is free, and then the daily second spin is only 400 gems. That brings your cost down to a reasonable number at the start, and it makes it kind of valuable, even if you're not really going after a specific commander. The chart on the screen now will show the overall cost per gold head based on the guaranteed rewards of the wheel. These are guaranteed ones, so if you have crappy luck like me, you can at least count on these for sure. The value isn't bad considering the VIP shop costs around 2,000 gems a head, but that's not really a great value for most players anyway, so take that with a grain of salt. And these are just the bonus rewards, so it does bring up a viable option if you're wanting to max commanders quickly versus just buying them from the VIP shop. Next, we're going to talk about expected value. This is a term used in statistics to determine what the average result will be on a game of chance. And this is essentially, on average, what your spin will result in. For example, if you have a wheel that is 50% chance to give you $100 and 50% chance to give you $20, the expected value is 50% of 100 plus 50% of 20, so it turns out to be 60. This looks confusing at first because obviously that's not a number you can get on a spin, but it's used for large sums and large spin counts to count an average. So think of it like all the governors spinning at once. On average, you'll get a certain result. So when you apply all the averages with the number of gold heads times the percentage and add them all together, on average you'll get a gold head, 0.47 gold heads per spin, or around a head every 2 to 3 spins. So when you take this into consideration, we can add an expected value column to give the expected cost per gold head if you have an average when you do your spins. Looking at this chart, we see the value given standard probability is a lot better than just the guaranteed values. Of course, this is expected, and this value can fluctuate. You might get really lucky and get a couple 8s, and you're getting 200 gems per gold head, which is great value. Or you might be like me. So from a theoretical standpoint, the values are definitely solid, and it's going to come down to, of course, random chance, which I know if you're like me, you don't really like. But the value is too hard to not want to at least try. So now we're going to go on to the more subjective part. How far should you take your wheel? These values are useful, but they don't do a lot of good for everyone's situation because everyone's situation is different. So in deciding how far to go on the wheel, look at your available gems. This will of course determine how far you go and your gold head storage. If you're looking to expertise a commander using a wheel with assistance, take 690, which is the total number of heads needed to expertise, minus the gold heads you have on hand. This will give you the difference you need to get through the wheel, more or less. And of course this doesn't account for your VIP dailies, daily gold heads, or anything else. If the commander has been around, you'll have the wheel troop type line up with the mightiest governor troop type. So you'll have around 8 weeks between wheels to build gems back up. So depending on how much you have on hand, you should look to an appropriate tier depending on. For example, if you have 35,000 gems, you should probably get to the best value going to tier 3, getting 20 guaranteed legendary sculptures for 30,000 gems, which is good value. And hopefully you can get up to an additional 20 from the wheel spin results, giving a value of 750 gems per gold head, and you'll have 8 weeks to get your gems built back up. However, as we all know, more commanders come out all the time. During new commander releases, there are 3 straight wheel events with the new commander, so you can then spread your gems out a little more to get more value. For example, in the same situation of having 35,000 gems, you can go to the second tier 2 wheels in a row, and then go for the first tier on the third cycle. And what that does is it gives you 25 guaranteed heads, so you have 5 more guaranteed heads for the 5,000 gems, plus an expected additional 29 gold heads. giving you a gem to gold ratio of about 648, giving you extra gold heads for the value. So as a general rule, when going for best average value when a new commander releases, take your gems, divide it by 3, and look at the nearest tier if you're looking for the best value. Also note that you are going to build up more gems over time too. So you should always go for the more aggressive tier early on, and then let your gems build up, and hopefully by the time the third wheel comes around, you could take the more aggressive tier then too. This concludes our rather brief talk on the Wheel of Fortune. Of course, the variability in this event makes the exact result hard to track, which drives me nuts as somebody who loves statistics. But as a pure comparison to buying gold heads outright or building them up over time, it is a great value for people who are looking to max a very specific commander very quickly. Of course, you'll need to balance what you're comfortable spending on projected results, as the guaranteed results are discounted, but not as amazing as the expected results. But if you're like me, you don't have great luck with the expected results. So just moderate as much as you can. But as always, good luck, fight well, and I will see you on the battlefield.